This is Dan Aziz coming out of the Cool Box Gym, the future light heavyweight division. Big up, sporting icon. Make sure you follow and subscribe.
Right, if you guys haven't seen my previous video there of Anthony Joshua saying that Deontay Wilder will retire in the next 2 or 3 years. Now, within that one there, in the article that I read, which I did put in that description, so go read it for yourself, it seems that that article just had some snippets of things that he was saying, and it wasn't the full thing, which I kind of wish that I knew that before I did that video, because within there as well he said that he's looking past Alexander Povetkin, and I was a little bit alarmed with the fact that he's saying it, and I didn't quite understand why. And I thought, okay, he literally is looking past him, but by the looks of it, he is actually meaning he's looking to more the bigger fights against Wilder, against Tyson Fury, Dylan White, etc. Okay, but for those who think that Alexander Povetkin is a walk in the park, listen now. Okay, he's only lost one fight, and I urge you to go look at his resume. His resume is stellar. It is really, really good. He's knocked out so many good fighters, and his only one loss was to Vladimir Klitschko, where if you guys watched that fight, you'll see that Vladimir Klitschko used every dirty trick in the book, and fair play on him for doing it, because he got away with it, and he was lucky to not get disqualified for elbowing him and hitting him with a forearm, leaning all over him, getting him in arm locks and throwing him around the ring. Klitschko was very, very lucky to not get disqualified. And even so, with all that going on, Povetkin still made it the distance. Okay, and he did actually knock out Carlos Takam as well. Anthony Joshua, okay, so the fight did get stopped, but it wasn't a knockout. Okay, for me, I think that maybe Takam could have gone the distance, but either way, Joshua would have won. Okay, so anyway, this article here, this seems to have the article from the previous one as well, all mixed in, and it's been expanded with Anthony Joshua's statement. So as I said, I wish that I'd have seen this one first, because he expands a lot more on it rather than I'm just looking past Povetkin, as that previous article said. So it does go to show that you know, you can't always take what the articles say as gospel, because they will just cut and paste into whatever they seem as their narrative for their particular article. But this one here, which is in the Sun, it's got Anthony Joshua expanding a little bit more on Alexander Povetkin, and thankfully he's kind of like put me a little bit at ease that he's actually not looking past Povetkin, and he is actually studying him and seeing his strengths, his weaknesses, all that kind of thing. And this is Anthony Joshua's statement for it. I remember Joe Louis lost his first fight with Max Schmeling. He studied him and then knocked him out in round 1 of the rematch. That shows you how important studying is. Takam is a tough cookie, so when I watched Povetkin knock him out, I thought, hello, he's a bit of a puncher. I've watched him more now, and I understand how he lands some of his shots, and I've watched him in sparring. I know the shots that hit him, I've watched how his weight fluctuates, I will study him properly. I like his style, it's a dangerous one. So that is Anthony Joshua's statement on Alexander Povetkin. So, okay, good. That's like the first reaction, that he is not looking past him and he is studying him, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, I know boxers don't always study the fighters themselves, in case they can see something that might be a little bit intimidating for them. They kind of leave it to their coach, their trainers. So for Anthony Joshua, Rob McCracken, he's probably looking more at Povetkin more than what Joshua is. So McCracken will know a lot about Povetkin, so he would have watched probably hours of footage of Alexander Povetkin and of course other members of Joshua's team, and filtered it down to say, okay, this is what Povetkin does most of the time, and these are his strong points and these are his weaknesses. If you can work on some of these things where the shots land and some of his weaknesses, we should be able to get him out of there. And of course the strong points as well. But of course you never know what Povetkin's going to turn up on the night. It did seem that Povetkin didn't really get out of second or third gear against Christian Hammer, and nor did he do it in his last fight against David Price either, and he did get caught in that fight as well. And I know that's why a lot of people are saying that Joshua's going to walk through him. I don't believe he's going to walk through him. I hope he does, but for me, I don't think he does. For me, on paper, this is the toughest fight of Anthony Joshua's career in Alexander Povetkin. He's been there, he's done it, he's former world champion, Olympic gold medalist, and he's been in there with some of the best around. Okay, and as I said, if you go check out his resume, arguably he probably has the best resume in the heavyweight division right now. Now, I know people will say, well, but Anthony Joshua defeated Vladimir Klitschko, and Vladimir Klitschko defeated Povetkin. As I said to you before, there was a lot of reasons why Vladimir Klitschko beat Povetkin. I'm not saying that he wouldn't have beaten him anyway, But, you know, I keep using this same analogy where it's not a game cheat code, okay? It's not like because Joshua beat Vladimir Klitschko that he gets all the souls of Vladimir Klitschko's previous opponents. It doesn't work that way, okay? This isn't Highlander, all right? So each fight depends on the night. Some styles gel, other styles don't. And we've seen it throughout history. And nobody should be looking past Povetkin. Expect a very, very tough fight. If you think that Joshua's going to go in there and blast him in the first 2 or 3 rounds, then I think you're going to be letting yourself in for a very disappointing night. Now, I hope that he does, okay, just so we can move on to the next one. But ultimately, this is a very, very tough fight. And I don't know. I really don't understand why people are looking past him. I really don't. I know people like Tony Bellew and other people who are very, very good at analysing fighters and seeing their strengths and weaknesses. And Bellew is exceptional at it. And Bellew has actually come out and said that he believes that Joshua should walk through him. But I don't quite know how he sees that. I've seen Povetkin fight on many occasions. In fact, one of the fights that I always wanted to see him in was David Haye, before David Haye injured his shoulder and was out for like those 3.5 years. Prior to that, I always wanted to see him take on Povetkin at that time. But Povetkin, he is 39 years old now, and I think it was his birthday a few days ago, I believe. So yeah, he is advancing in age, but you know what? This is going to be a very, very dangerous fight for Joshua. This is Povetkin's arguably his last shot to become a world champion again. Okay, this is his last opportunity. It's not like he can lose and then go have 3 or 4 more fights and get back into contention. I mean, he could, but it's unlikely. So this is his big opportunity, and for a payday as well. Don't get me wrong, he's very, very minted already. He's a big superstar over there in Russia, which is what is going to make this fight a huge fight. Not only here in the UK, but certainly in Russia and Europe as well, especially in Germany as well. But anyway, I'm glad to see that Joshua isn't looking past him. He is studying him, and rightly so, he should be. I really don't want to see him overlooking Povetkin. I don't want to see Povetkin doing some basic things that Joshua should have known about and gets caught. Hey, listen, if Povetkin beats Joshua, then he beats him. Okay, as long as it's fair and square and it wasn't through Joshua overlooking him. You know what, people will accept that. But if it comes down to it, where we're hearing that Joshua is overlooking an opponent and then he gets chinned from a basic move that Povetkin always does, it's going to be worrying. But anyway, I am picking Joshua to win, and I hope that he wins, of course. So anyway, you drop your thoughts below about it all, click that thumbs up and subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.